Summer fun can bring hidden risks around your home, from grill fires to storms and pool injuries. Tonight, how to check your insurance now so a claim doesn't catch you off guard. When airline travel goes sideways, the records you save can make a big difference. Next, what to keep, when to act, and how a credit card chargeback may help. And we're sharing ways to uncover expenses hidden in plain sight. If you're looking to cut costs, these are going to make a huge difference. Welcome to the Watchdog, where we protect consumers, share warnings and alerts, and help save you money. I'm Jen Pachano. A Westlake doctor has been sentenced in a fraud conspiracy for fraudulently billing Medicare for more than $1.8 million. Investigators say 42-year-old Muna Ora issued doctor's orders for durable medical equipment, braces, and genetic testing for patients who didn't need that equipment and tests that she authorized. Ora has been sentenced to 5 years probation in order to pay nearly $1 million in restitution to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Consumer advocates say the Spirit Airlines fallout earlier this year is another reminder to know your legal rights as a flyer, especially as summer travel picks up. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Charisse Jackman spoke with an attorney about what to save if your trip goes sideways and how credit card chargebacks may help.
The first trick is knowing your rights, then knowing how to enforce them.
From cancellations, delays, and the fall of Spirit Airlines, 2026 has been a turbulent year for airline travel. It's why attorney Wayne Hassey says knowing your rights ahead of time is key.
Some documentation that consumers and flyers should have right now in case things go wrong.
We're going to tell you to save everything, and everything should be in writing. Because separate and apart from maybe the rare situation of an airline winding down in bankruptcy, there are going to be rights under the U.S. Department of Transportation rules and regulations about potential refunds for meals or hotel rooms or other costs, in addition to refunds for tickets and such.
Hassey says that means saving emails, receipts, booking details, and any written communication with the airline. If you're dealing with a cancellation, delay, or other travel problems, he says those records can matter when you file a claim with the airline or your credit card company. For Spirit Airlines travelers with flight credits, vouchers, or miles, Hassey says the process will likely play out in bankruptcy court. But the recovery path, he says, is rarely straightforward.
My prediction is, if I can be so bold, you're going to end up with pennies on the dollar. And maybe sometimes in bankruptcy court, these claimants end up with nothing.
For travelers who paid by credit card, Hassey says the chargeback process can be another tool, but the timeline matters.
I'll tell you that credit card deadline is generally considered to be 60 days, but don't depend on that. The way you need to approach it is your deadlines were yesterday. You need to be on top of it.
With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Charisse Jackman.
Under the Fair Credit Billing Act, if you paid by credit card and did not receive a service, you may be able to dispute the charge through your card issuer. Now, Hassey says the key is not to wait. Save your records, contact the airline, and check your credit issuer's deadlines. As summer begins, outdoor fun can get expensive fast if your home is not properly insured. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Rachel DePompa talks to an insurance expert about the most common home insurance claims and how to avoid them.
Summer is here, which means you're going to be outside more, so it's time to make sure you are properly covered for hazards around your home. Kaz Wida is an insurance expert with NerdWallet. She says it's often things you never think of that can lead to claims. Things like grill fires, theft while you're on vacation, even injuries from swimming pools or trampolines. Even summer storm damage can lead to claims.
Well, I think one of the things we want to think about first and foremost is just reviewing your homeowner's insurance policy, making sure once a year you sort of take it out, no matter what season it is, summer or not. Understand what your coverage is, understand what your limits are, and really think about, have I made some changes to my property that I need to let my insurer know about?
Some home insurances have a built-in feature called Inflation Guard, and that helps your coverage limits keep pace with inflation. But Wida says it's also important to make sure your coverage limits have kept pace with rebuilding costs.
this is a really common problem. We sort of go ahead and get insurance when we buy a home, and then we don't really revisit that. And it is the homeowner's responsibility to make sure you have enough homeowners insurance to rebuild if you were to experience a significant loss.
WIDA says you also want to think about your personal liability and make sure it's enough to cover your net worth. You can always get on the phone with your insurance agent and update what you have for liability or dwelling coverage. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
We're at the mid-year point, and there's one foolproof way to find money, looking at how you're spending your money, of course, especially in automated ways. The CNET study that just came out found that the number of apps and streaming services we have are costing us more than $1,000 a year. On average, U.S. adults waste well over $200 annually on unused subscription services, about $20 a month. How about that? Now, with June now behind us, it is a good time to do a mid-year finance check. And experts say that should include estate planning. No matter how much money someone makes, everybody should pay attention to estate planning, which makes most nervous. The three main documents, though, that everybody needs are a will, a healthcare proxy, and a power of attorney. Now, these documents are vital. If something happens to you, you want to have things in order and have the right person assigned to make business and healthcare decisions on your behalf. Well, coming up on the Watchdog, we talked to the FBI about an ugly term, pig butchering. You don't want to be a victim of this, but it's the #1 scam in the U.S. We'll help you avoid six-figure losses to this scam. Welcome back to the Watchdog. I'm Jen Pachano, and we are talking to our Scam Squad partners here for our Ask the Scam Squad segment. This is where we bring in members from the Cuyahoga County Scam Squad to talk to us about real scams that are being run on our friends, our neighbors, our community members, and what they're doing to help them navigate this, whether it be recovering from it if they can, or helping warn others so that they don't fall for it too. So we have Special Agent Pat Koth from the FBI here with us today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
The word crypto, it strikes fear in a lot of people and gets a lot of people excited too, because they feel like there's opportunity.
Absolutely.
But there are a lot of crypto scams. It's keeping the FBI very busy right now, including something that victimized a woman out of Lake County, a brother and sister. What are you seeing right here in our community when it comes to crypto scams?
Sure. So this scam, the cryptocurrency scams, the investment scams, some people still refer to it as pig butchering, #1 scam in the United States right now. So we are probably grossly underestimating it at about $8 billion.
Oh, gosh.
It's huge. And it is absolutely devastating, because the entire purpose of this scam is to literally bleed you dry of every single cent that you have.
That will send chills up your spine to think about, like, people losing their entire life savings. Like the woman in Lake County, her
Absolutely.
Roth IRA, what was it, like $600,000 in losses?
Yep, in excess of $600,000. So again, they're not only do they want to drain you of your entire life savings, but at the end of everything, when you're trying to cash out, right? You've made that great gain in these cryptocurrency investments, and they know that they've gotten everything from you. They're going to say, "Oh, we need you to pay a tax," or there's something else. You know, you can't do it from your gains. You have to bring in outside money. That, unfortunately, is when people go and they ask family. They ask friends for that additional money for them to get their money back.
Then it's even layers of victims and stuff.
It is.
So you said the tax. So there was the brother and sister who lost $1 million. Local folks, Ohio folks, started with an unsolicited text.
Yes. So
common story.
If anyone's ever gotten that text that they know is someone that they don't know, and it might be a hello, just a hello.
Yeah.
Right? That is a scammer trying to start a relationship with you. And it's going to be you responding, "Hey, I think you have the wrong number. Who's this?" And all they want to do is start a conversation. And they are willing to spend hours, days, months. Some of these scams have been in excess of a year to build up a relationship.
Because they're huge dollar scams.
They're huge dollar scams. And again, so when it comes to the cryptocurrency scams, these primarily emanate out of Southeast Asia. There is a human trafficking element to it. where people are basically forced into these scammer roles.
Wow.
And they're given phones, their passports are taken away from them, and they're told, you work for us now. You're not leaving here. Here's a script. Here's a fake identity for yourself.
Wow.
Go start calling numbers. Start texting people. Start
making
online.
us money.
Yeah, start making us money. There's a romance angle to it because, again, you're building these confidences. And ultimately what they want to get you to do is they want you to get involved in some type of friendship, and it might turn romantic. Again, it's online.
Right, there's some bonding. I saw the woman from Lake County, like they were bonding over hobbies and religion and things like that. It's a connection to build trust. And then they hand over... or they trust that, oh, I made money on this, you can too. Try this crypto account.
Absolutely. They want to eliminate barriers. They want to eliminate your common sense of there's something up about this because you've been talking to this person for a prolonged period of time and they've never asked you for anything.
Until they do.
No, we used to, it used to be easy. We used to joke about the old romance scams where, hey, it's the guy on the oil rig and he can't get off the oil rig unless you send him money.
Right.
And so many people have fallen for that, and that now people realize, well, that's a scam. Well, here, you've been talking to someone for months or a year. They haven't asked you for anything, but then you start talking about their lifestyle and how successful they are. And then they start telling you, well, I invested in cryptocurrency. You can do it too.
Right.
And they have you invest.
Come with me. Come be successful with me. Right.
Yeah. And it's not even necessarily greed. It's like, well, wouldn't it be nice for you to leave something to your family?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, those types of things.
Sure. And the thing I think that was the red flag, at least for the brother and sister, was the 10% tax up front. That was when he knew, hey, something's up, right?
Yep. It's always when you try to get money out that the scam falls apart. So, anytime in these scams when you finally had your gains and they're incredibly healthy gains, so much so that should have been a red flag. But anytime that there is a reluctance to return you your money, that's the ultimate red flag. And that's when they start giving you excuses as to why the money can't be returned to you and how actually you need to pay just a little bit more for you to get that money back. And that... going back to the pig butchering analogy, and they don't like us using that term as much anymore.
It's an ugly term, but it's an ugly crime.
I love it. I love the term because it is incredibly memorable. It's an incredibly memorable term.
Leaves an impression. You're right.
It does. It leaves an impression. No one wants to be the pig.
Right.
But it's that last bleeding of you going dry, right? And it's getting that last cent out of you. And they refer to us as the pigs. Again, it is what it is. But I hope people remember it and hope they don't fall victim to it. So they're, anytime that they're saying there's another reason why you can't get your money back, huge red flag. And then just being skeptical when doing investments, when doing some of these platforms, and them trying to, hey, well, let's talk on an encrypted application now instead of on your normal email or your
this should be sending off all kinds of warning signs and red flags for you.
And then again, the pressure. Oh, well, why haven't you invested yet? Why haven't you invested yet? Those pressure tactics to get you to send more money.
Sure. And again, it's LinkedIn, it's emails, it's texts. All these are unsolicited ways in which to get in and establish that relationship.
Absolutely.
So if people suspect that they may have been targeted or are being groomed at this point, what do they need to do to get the FBI involved or get an investigation going so that they can either stop it in their tracks or do what they can? The sooner the better they act.
Absolutely. Right? The sooner the better, obviously. So the great thing that we have going here in Cleveland is we have what's called the Midwest Cryptocurrency Task Force.
Yes. Very active group.
Yes,
doing a lot.
Incredibly active group. We have some of, if not the best crypto tracers in the whole of government. Like, if you're able to get to us through, again, we say IC3 is the conduit that we like people making their complaints through. So IC3.gov, those will get filtered here to FBI Cleveland, and we'll be able to trace out where your money has actually gone.
Tips.fbi.gov or IC3.gov, is that correct?
Especially for those, IC3.gov is great, and hopefully we'll be able to do something for you.
All right, it's wedding season, and brides and grooms are using a new tactic to offset the cost of getting married. We'll show you how they're working out a debt-free happily ever after. For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, those are familiar words, right? But it's just part of the traditional marriage vows that most of us have heard during the performance of a wedding. Well, in this week's Making Ends Meet, Dawn Gee had a chance to speak with the creator of a new guest management platform that explains the vows may be the same as those in the past, but the celebration today is definitely different.
Weddings used to have a long list of do's and don'ts for the bride and groom and their guests. Well, there's a new experience everyone is having leading up to the big day.
Weddings are supposed to be the happiest day of your life. Don't let the financial stresses of that ruin it.
Joshua Kakos is a wedding finance expert and the founder of The Wedding Ticket, a platform that helps couples fund their celebration through guest contributions.
The goal is for the couple to have their dream wedding and start their marriage with zero debt.
Weddings of today are not your mom and dad's I-dos. Kakos said today's I-dos don't look like years past.
They're right at about $35,000 for the average wedding. On average, they're going about $28,000 in debt, and that's how it's being done right now.
He explains couples are now finding ways to fight rising wedding costs. The contemporary bride and groom are reshaping guest expectations and long-standing wedding traditions while saving money for their futures by using platforms like The Wedding Ticket.
The new way to do this is it's on the rise is cash registries. So you're seeing a lot of cash registries pop up. About 85% of couples register for a cash registry instead of getting gifts.
The Wedding Ticket gives you the ability to create a budget. Select your number of guests. It gives you a suggested contribution amount from each guest. You create your RSVPs and send out your invitations digitally.
We see this as the new way to do things. It might seem a little strange at first, but we really think it's gonna be the new way that weddings are funded in the future.
A survey from LendingTree reveals more than half of newlyweds say they had financial arguments with their partner before or after their wedding. 23% say money was the top wedding planning stressor ahead of pre-wedding jitters and the guest list. Kakos said happily ever after starts with the nuptial planning.
My first piece of advice would be to not go into debt for one day. Have a wedding within your budget, or just ask the guest to contribute.
Kakos points to recent data that reveals 86% of couples say asking for cash gifts is totally acceptable, while 25% are actually using cash funds.
Oddly enough, there's tens of thousands of couples that use GoFundMe now.
Kakos stresses, try to have a wedding within your budget and let the guest help out. If you ask for financial help, make sure you share that attendance is not tied to payment. Kakos believes contributions are the new way to fund a wedding. Helping you make ends meet, I'm Dawn Gee.
Time for our recall roundup now. Hyundai is recalling more than 96,000 vehicles due to a software error in a display. Hyundai says the instrument panel display that fails to show critical safety information like speedometer or warning lights does increase the risk of a crash. The recall includes 2025 and 26 Tucson hybrids, Tucson plug-in hybrids as well. Vehicle owners should contact their dealership for a software update. The CPSC says these cuckoo baby loungers were recalled due to risk of serious injury or death from suffocation or a fall. About 2,300 units have been recalled here. And nearly 375,000 bottles of depression and anxiety medication Cymbalta have been recalled because they may contain elevated levels of a chemical linked to an increased cancer risk with long-term exposure. It's a Class 2 recall, so that means the affected medication could cause temporary or reversible health effects, but it is unlikely to result in serious harm. Even so, people taking Cymbalta should check with their pharmacist or healthcare provider to see if their medication is part of that recall and then inquire about a replacement. That's it for this episode of The Watchdog here on 19 News Plus. Every week we bring you the latest scam alerts, fraud reports, recalls, and trending consumer news. That's each Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Now, if you'd like to watch some previous Scam Squad stories, you can do so on Cleveland19.com under the News tab. I'm Jen Pachano. Thanks for watching.